You gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you really stop to look fear in the face. You are able to say to yourself, I lived through this horror. I can take the next thing that comes along. The Hobbit has sold over 100 million copies worldwide and has grossed over $1 billion in revenue. The reason why the book is so successful is because of J.R.R. Tolkien's intricate understanding of the themes courage, greed, and the power of words. The book The Hobbit follows the journey of a timid character named Bilbo. He refuses to have anything to do with adventures and anything outside of his comfort zone. Bilbo Baggins lives a simple life with his fellow hobbits in a small town, until the wizard Gandalf arrives and convinces him to join a group of dwarves on a quest to reclaim the kingdom of Erebor. The journey takes Bilbo on a path through treacherous lands swarming with orcs, goblins, and other dangers. The reader is able to see Bilbo's progression from an anxious and fearful dwarf to someone who is fierce and is able to thrive in a time of adversity.
So I turn around and tell them that I want to quit. And then I see a huge quote printed on the glass window right next to me. Life begins at the edge of your comfort zone. I don't know why, but this short yet powerful sentence gives me the final push, and before I realize it, I walk straight back to the platform and jump off the world's highest bungee platform.
During this TED Talk, Yu Bing Zhang mentions life begins at the end of your comfort zone. This profound saying seamlessly applies to Bilbo when Gandalf presents the idea of embarking on an adventure. At first, Bilbo faints as a result of his deep-rooted anxiety of the unknown. He is so accustomed to his daily schedulized routine that the very notion of an adventure physically causes him to turn ill and pass out. His subconscious fear of the unknown world, along with his superego, reject the proposition immediately. This deep-rooted anxiety that Bilbo feels can be partly attributed to his parents. They also lived a very strict, schedulized life, distancing themselves from anything that deviated from their routine or comfort zone. When Bilbo finally musters up the courage to accept Gandalf's proposition, his psyche bloomed onto a path of wisdom and moral maturity. Now, how does this relate to the modern world? Well, people are constantly engulfed in fear. People are afraid to quit their 9 to 5 and start their own business out of fear of not being able to pay their bills. People are afraid to seek a new intimate relationship out of fear of getting emotionally hurt. People are afraid of pursuing their inner passions out of fear of embarrassment and failure. Bilbo's choice of going on an adventure, despite being terrified, is something everyone should apply to some degree in their daily lives. Discomfort is the price of admission to a meaningful life. The Hobbit also covers the major issue of greed. Greed is a negative attribute that all humans possess to some extent. It is up to the individual to suppress it and not allow it to get out of hand. Although the dwarves try to claim that their journey is to reclaim their heritage, their real, uncensored motivation is greed. They have spent over 100 years in the mines working, not trying to reclaim their heritage. They are not interested until a wizard confronts them with a map and the key. The journey is for gold and treasure. At first, Bilbo is not impressed by their greed, but the idea of the treasure increasingly becomes more attractive to him, and it is one of the major reasons for his significant change of heart. This dark and creepy film perfectly illustrates the issue of greed. It shows that people are willing to do whatever it takes to achieve prosperity, even at the expense of their own emotional and physical well-being. Well, how does this relate to the Hobbit? Well, the leader of the dwarves, Thorin, becomes so obsessed with the pursuit of treasure and wealth that he willingly destroys the deep relationships he has with others. Money and greed is what modern capitalist societies revolve around. People are presented with a false promise that material possessions will lead to happiness. So people go to school for 18 years, get a job at a place they don't enjoy, and mentally destroy themselves, all in pursuit of material objects and wealth. J.R.R. Tolkien illustrates how dangerous the pursuit for wealth can be, not only in a literal sense, but in a psychological sense as well. Another key theme within the book The Hobbit is the power of language. Bilbo, Gandalf, and the dwarves confront countless dangers, such as spiders, goblins, wolves, and a dragon. To defend themselves, they use a vast number of weapons, such as knives, daggers, and spells. Yet, one of the most important weapons that they use, and one of the most important skills Bilbo develops on his travels, is language. In the early chapters of the book, Bilbo exhibits almost no sophisticated command of language. However, as the book progresses, Bilbo becomes a master and manipulator of language, capable of intimidating, confusing, and disarming his enemies. But perhaps even more importantly, language evolves into a tool for changing and understanding oneself. Bilbo renames himself as he becomes braver and more confident, and with the power of words and naming, he makes his experiences a part of his personality. Everyone should read the book The Hobbit. Not only can it be used as an effective escapism, exploring the world filled with dragons, goblins, and orcs, but it can be used as a tool to learn about the themes of courage, greed, and the power of language.